Consumer Guarantees Act.
The Consumer Guarantees Act was established in 1993. The Act gives protection to consumers to seek repairs, replacements, or refunds for faulty goods or services.
The CGA Act gives rights to almost every customer that buys goods and services from any business. However, the CGA has one exception, which it does not apply to business transactions, in which goods and services purchased will be resupplied in trade, consumed in the course of production or manufacture, or used to repair other goods or fixtures on land. An example of this is a restaurant purchasing raw ingredients that will be used in the production of the goods they produce. The ingredients purchased will be used in the production for the restaurant and will not be covered by the CGA.
What is the definition of a consumer? A consumer can be defined as a person and/or a company who acquires goods or services of a kind ordinarily acquired for personal, domestic, or household use of consumption. This means that the good or service cannot be eccentric in nature and has to be acquired through purchases, exchanges, lease, hire purchase, or by way of gift. What guarantees are given to consumers? The guarantees for the supply of goods are that they must be of acceptable quality, be fit for all purposes for which goods of that type are commonly supplied, be acceptable in appearance and finish, be free from minor defects, and it must be safe and durable, which means it must last for a reasonable period of time. For example, a bucket is used for carrying water and stones. However, if there are small holes in the bucket, then it is unable to carry water, but it can still carry the stones. This means the bucket is not fit for all purposes. The guarantees for the supply of services are that it must be done with reasonable care and skill. It must be fit for a particular purpose. The time of completion of the service is reasonable, and the price must be fair and reasonable. What rights do customers and consumers have if they are unsatisfied? If you are unsatisfied with a product or service, you can ask for a remedy under the Consumer Guarantees Act. These include repairs, replacements, or refunds. If it can be fixed, fix it or replace it or refund the purchase price. To note, replacement goods are still covered by the CGA. If the goods can't be fixed or it's a failure of substantial character, you may reject goods and ask for replacement or refund. You can also seek damages from the supplier for any foreseeable loss or damage to you resulting from the failure of the goods. It does not matter how serious the damage is, you can still claim under the Consumer Guarantees Act. However, it should be noted that if you are going to exercise your rights under the Consumer Guarantees Act, you must act promptly.
Under Section 43 of the Consumer Guarantees Act, business-to-business transactions are able to contract out of the CGA. As a small business, you have the opportunity to not apply the CGA if the business consumer agrees to it. Some things to remember are that this agreement to contract out must be in writing, that both parties are in trade, and under Section 2 of the CGA, this means undertaking the supply of goods or services or the disposition and acquisition of land at a regular basis, whether free of charge or not, and that the terms and conditions of this contracting out must be fair and reasonable to both parties. This releases you as a business from the guarantees and obligations you have to a business consumer. But remember, a fine of up to $600,000 can be issued to businesses if a contracting out is found to be done with non-business consumers. This is a breach of Section 13I of the Fair Trading Act, which states that a guarantee or warranty cannot be falsely represented to those who have the right to them under the CGA. To avoid being charged for any breach of the CGA, small to medium enterprises can implement many internal controls to ensure goods are up to standard. Before hitting the shelves, companies can ensure that all products are labeled correctly, priced fairly, free from damage, safe and durable, and fit for the intended purpose. Service companies may want to take extra time to train their staff and frequently evaluate their performances to ensure that services are provided up to the standards of the CGA. Companies may also want to train their employees to be familiar with the CGA and ensure that they know what guarantees consumers are entitled to when they do business with them.